Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Right, I'm going to kick off, and those who join will catch me later. So, welcome to the Northern Territory. I hope you've all had a great week with TTG. Thanks to TTG for organising this. The workshops have been fantastic. It's just really great to have you all talk about Australia again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with some of the basics about the Northern Territory, a little bits about our region that you need to know when selling to your clients. And then I'll talk about some of our new fantastic product we've had open over the last couple of years. And then I'm going to end on a few sustainable operators that I just wanted to highlight. So for those of you who aren't aware, this is where the Northern Territory sits in relation to the rest of Australia. And now there are plenty of ways to get to and around the Northern Territory. You can obviously fly. We've currently got the Qantas non-stop flight flying from London to Darwin, which is currently the quickest way to get to Australia and takes just under 17 hours. We've also got Singapore Airlines flying to Darwin via Changi, another speedy way to reach Australia, which actually makes Darwin a really great gateway to the rest of your visitors, your clients' Australia itinerary. Now, if you're coming from within Australia itself, it's really easy to get to the Northern Territory. You can fly to Darwin and Alice Springs and Uluru from a lot of major Australian cities. We've also got really well-connected highways, so you can actually self-drive in from Western Australia or from Queensland or up from South Australia. And then lastly, we've got the train. We've got the Garn Railway, which is an incredibly famous route which runs between Adelaide in South Australia and Darwin in the NT. So when talking about the Northern Territory, we talk about it into two regions. So we've got the top end and we've got the red centre. So you can see how the regions differ in terms of landscape and colour in these images. So on the left, we've got Kakadu National Park, which is in the top end. It's very green, it's very tropical. We've got abundance of nature and wildlife and beautiful waterfalls here as well. And then on the right, we've got Uluru, which is in the red centre. And here you'll find this really red desert and incredibly unique rock formations. So the landscapes contrast massively. So the top end is made up of Darwin, Katherine, Kakadu and Arnhem Land. And it's got a different climate actually to the red centre, which you need to be aware of when recommending what time of year your clients visit. So we've got the dry season, which runs April through to October. This is when the days are warm and sunny and the nights are slightly cooler. And it's a very outdoorsy time to visit. So it's a great time for camping, for cycling, for hiking. And there's loads of outdoor events and festivals on as well. So it's a very buzzy time of year to visit. The tropical summer, which runs November through to March, is when the humidity increases and the monsoon rains arrive. The rains are short and sharp, once a day, and this is a really great time to visit to see nature and wildlife super active and the waterfalls in full flow as well. And it's actually worth bearing in mind that during the tropical summer, you can usually secure cheaper hotel rates for your clients, plus there is more availability. The Red Centre, much like the UK, has 4 seasons, winter, summer, autumn and spring, and you can visit the Red Centre all year round, with May to September probably being the most popular time to visit for visitors. The Northern Territory, as you might all know, is most well known for our ancient culture, our thrilling adventure, nature and wildlife, and delicious cuisine. So if your clients like all or any of the above, then you must add the Northern Territory to their Australian itinerary. So moving quickly on to our lovely new product in the NT. Our first one is Finis River Lodge. It's the NT's newest experiential luxury lodge, and it's built alongside the vast coastal floodplains of the top end. It opens 1st of May, and it's actually owned and operated by 3rd generation farmers who are really dedicated to balancing best practice farming with environmental sustainability. So it's a really interesting but incredibly beautiful place to visit. There's room for a maximum of 15 guests, and it's set in really stunning landscapes, as you can see, and it's very accessible from Darwin. So it's only a 90-minute drive from Darwin, and that's along sealed roads, so you can self-drive. The last 5 kilometers is a very well maintained dirt driveway, but again, easy to self-drive. Or the lodge will book you a shared or private road transfer from Darwin Airport. It's also only a 20-minute charter flight. So the lodge can arrange a helicopter or a fixed wing charter flight from Darwin or other locations straight to their own airstrip. So it's very easy to get to. There are some activities included in the stay at the lodge. So there are 2 daily on-property guided outings, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, so the guests can kind of enjoy the lodge in the middle of the day, you know, enjoy the swimming pool, enjoy your room, enjoy the surroundings. And then the activities will change depending on the season, but also depending on the visitor and what they want to do. But they'll be run in either a Land Cruiser or open buggy. And the guides are incredibly knowledgeable and really fantastic. So they'll give your clients the best experience possible. There's also, if you're staying 3 nights or more, there's a 50-minute airboat ride included on the Finis River. And visitors will learn about the fauna that inhabit the environments. You've got barramundi, brolga, saltwater crocs, and so much beautiful bird life. So we've got a new tropical pool villa at the Mercure Airport Resort. It's a great new luxurious accommodation option for Darwin visitors. It's got things like a king-size bed, indigenous-inspired decor, a spa-like bathroom, and you can step through those sliding doors straight out to your private pool with sun lounges overlooking Rapid Creek bushland. This isn't necessarily a new product, but it's new to the UK trade. So Australia Geographic Travel have tours all over the Australia, but 2 of these tours are in Arnhem Land, and I really want to highlight them because they're incredibly immersive and unique itineraries. So one of them is Adventure into the Yawangoo Homeland Culture in East Arnhem Land. So on this tour, you effectively become part of the Yawangoo community. It's such an immersive experience, and you really get to understand the Yawangoo culture. You're visiting the Yawangoo homelands, and it's suitable for all ages. They welcome families with children, and you basically participate in a cultural program and activities, and you'll learn about the Yawangoo people's connection to land and sea, and you'll do things like traditional weaving, traditional spear fishing, gathering bush foods and medicines. You'll dance, you'll do storytelling, and you'll learn more about the didgeridoo and how it's made and how it's played. And then the second tour I wanted to highlight is Adventure into Culture, Women's Tour of the Yawangoo Homeland. So this is a really interesting tour. It's a women-only tour led by a really expert guide, and this is very close. This is very personal to the Australian Geographic founder. She's very closely connected to this. So you'll experience many extraordinary things on this tour, but spending time with a Yawangoo woman is often described as life-changing. The ladies speak about their philosophy, their kinship, astrology. They'll talk about the healing ceremony, the crying ceremony. So it's incredibly educational. But there's also activities like traditional weaving, there's painting, cooking. You'll learn about bush medicine, they're dancing, and you'll even do things like gathering oysters or mud crabs and things like that. So these are really incredible, immersive tours. We've got some new adventure product in Darwin, which is very exciting. So Matt Wright Explore the Wild has launched Darwin Adventure Boats. So this combines his very popular Darwin Harbour sightseeing tours with an action-packed kind of jet boat experience as well. So you'll jump on the jet boat, that's the yellow one, in this picture at Stokes Hill Wharf, and you'll be transported across the Darwin Harbour at high speeds. And then when you reach the mangroves, you'll jump into an airboat, that's the one at the back, and you'll cruise along and discover marine wildlife before skimming across the mudflats. And then you'll get in the jet boat to ride back home. So it's a mixture of kind of nature, wildlife, but also adventure as well. Some of you will have heard me talk about this as well. These guys are new, but they've been around about a year now. So this is 007 Adventures, and they've launched 2 products. So one of them is their jet ski adventures. These are fully guided, family-friendly tours. jet ski tours all around Darwin Harbour. They are James Bond themed, and you'll see things like dolphins, turtles, plenty of beautiful bird life. And it's also a great opportunity to witness Darwin's iconic sunsets at a beautiful vantage point. And their second tour is their off-road adventure tours. And these happen in Charles Darwin National Park. So that's 5 minutes from the city centre. And you'll do an off-road adventure in an off-road buggy through the terrain of the national park. We've got a new glamping product at Kings Creek Station. So it opens in May, so I don't have many of the finished pictures yet. But as you can see on the left-hand side, this is the beautiful view you'll see outside of your tent. So they are new eco tent called the Drover's Dream, due to open 16th of May. And they're made up of 10 premium spacious ensuite tents with a walk-in shower. They've each got a queen bed, beautiful furnishings. They've got recycled air conditioning, tea and coffee making facilities. They've got a mini fridge. So they've got kind of the luxury elements you'd expect. But they've also got a custom deck with a barbecue, so private barbecue you can use, and also a private fire pit for those cooler evenings. And included in your stay, you get a buffet breakfast included and a self-cook barbecue dinner hamper. So a lovely kind of outback glamping experience. And I'm sure you've all heard about this, but I wanted to highlight that at Ayers Rock Resort, Sails in the Desert has had a complete refurbishment. So all of the rooms have got new bathrooms, new aircon, new beds and carpets, and the terrace rooms have new terrace furniture, such as in the picture on the left. So I'm going to end with talking about a few of our products that are focusing on sustainability. Many of our operators have acquired eco certification with Eco Tourism Australia, and there's a huge focus and importance placed on responsible and sustainable tourism in the Northern Territory. So first up is Banu Banu. This is an eco-sensitive beach retreat on Bremer Island. It was actually built in partnership with the local and traditional owners to ensure that guests experience and appreciate the natural wonders and also the culture of East Arnhem Land, which is so important. So it's such an incredibly beautiful and tranquil location. Abundant sea life, we've got rich local culture around here and lush tropical surrounds. It's a 15-minute flight from Gove Airport, which you can fly to from Darwin or from Cairns. It runs 100% off solar power. The main water supply is bore water, and they've got a real ethos for water-wise usage, and their eco-friendly bathroom amenities are locally handmade. This is Earth Sanctuary. Not that many of you will have heard of Earth Sanctuary. It's really near Alice Springs, about 15 minutes south of Alice Springs. It's our most eco operator, and they operate entirely off the grid. It's actually become a leader in the field of ecotourism by becoming one of Australia's first 100% carbon neutral venues. It's set on 100 acres of desert wilderness overlooking the East McDonald Ranges, and it's a family operated business that operate day and evening tours to visitors showcasing the Central Australian outback. It actually produces 80% of its energy from renewable resources and captures 65% of its water from rainwater. They compost all food waste, and obviously they recycle where possible, but they also offer educational eco tours. So this is their actual main focus, is on education. They want to educate visitors on how to live sustainably. So it's an incredibly interesting and enriching place to visit, and you're bound to learn, new facts about how we can all live our lives more sustainably. And then lastly, I've only got 30 seconds or so left. If your clients are staying overnight near Uluru, they'll most likely be staying at Ayers Rock Resort. Importantly, the resort works very collaboratively with local communities, and they support sustainable environmental tourism practices by respecting and supporting the local Indigenous communities and offering employment and training. And they've also got their own solar field as well. I'm so sorry we're running out of time, but thank you so much for watching. And if you do have any questions, please jump to our booth and I can answer any questions there. But here is my email and our website for further information. Thanks so much, guys.